Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight, we kick off a brand new Rumble. 3 of our teams return from last week's Rumble, with the Wolves joining in to make the 4th team. Who will take home the Rumble title next week? We'll have to wait and see. I'm your host, Artie Rain, and joining me on desk to call all of the action is Joe Chigbrow. All right, so Joe, I got a question for you as someone who's not an expert in the realm of Rocket League. How does one maintain possession and ball control?
Well, what it comes down to a lot of the time is just very practiced and finite decision making, but in a team environment where there's a lot of elements changing all the time, boost amounts, whether or not someone's challenging you, how far back your opponent is, what it comes down to in this 3v3 format is a lot of communication and telling your teammate while they're dribbling, hey, you have time, hey, someone's challenging, I'm left, I'm right, give me a pass, let's set up a play. So what it comes down to is a lot of that team effort and really relying on that team element of the game to make sure that you control the play all the time.
All right, well, hopefully, though we can't hear those communication channels, hopefully it will be evident in the gameplay of these players that they are working together and talking it out, making sure that everyone has all the info necessary. And for those of you that are just joining us and did not get to hear my rundown of who will be joining us this week, we can give you a quick snippet of that. It is going to be Liberty North High School, the Wolves, the Barracudas, and the Mammoths this week. Liberty North is not listed on here, but they are joining us this week as well. They're fantastic competitors, but they did get taken down by the Barracudas. However, most of the Esports Tower teams have been saying they're thoroughly impressed with their skill level and are excited to go against them again this week. Before we jump into any more action here, I just want to give a quick reminder to all of our friends here on Twitch that support your team, celebrate their successes, and be respectful to the other fans. Mods will remove anyone who violate these chat rules. You never know who is watching. And of course, all of the chats are recorded, so make sure you stay in line with those rules. And as those are the rules for everyone who is watching, we do have some, not so much rules, but just some important keys of advice to all of the players that are going to be on our virtual field today, coming in the form of Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, presented today by Esports Tower. They are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with professional coaches, great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. I'd like to add to that, allay the demos in reminiscence of last week's
the chaos, the
Doc's
fireworks.
keys to the game. With that being said, we're going to kick off this week's Rumble with Liberty North Eagles returning after placing 2nd place last week to take on the Wolves. And then you can see we're going to have the Mammoths go against the Barracudas. The Mammoths did not have a stellar performance last week, but they've been improving, especially working on control and maintaining ball possession. So let's see if that comes to fruition just a little bit while they go up against our current 2-time champions of the Barracudas. This is a double elimination bracket, so whomever loses in the first round will be knocked down into our second chance, or redemption bracket as I like to call it. But that is where the safety net is gone and they cannot make any more mistakes. All right, Liberty North, let's see what improvements you have made going into this week. You're going to be going up against a brand new group of the Wolves. Not so much every which player on that team's brand new, it's just the title. The team itself is newly formed, so there's not an opportunity to fully scout them out, as we have Free Ink coming in. Cat's, pretty sure that's Crazy Cat coming in, as well as Torque for the side of the Wolves, and then Electrolyte, Hawk, and Mini Bolt, the trio that took down many of the Esports Tower teams last week for Liberty North.
Free Ink passes back to Torque, takes it around 1, beaten by Electrolyte on a 50-50, but Cats will be able to save it at the last moment, clear out to the corner. Now Hawk looking to take it back around. Cats with the solo play off the wall. It's not good enough, however, no follow-up from the Wolves will give Liberty North their first goal tonight, 30 seconds into game 1.
I think that's an example of why you clear to the side, you don't clear straight forward, because that was just an immediate ricochet volley soon to the back of the net, because it was at a perfect, just flat angle to the goal. We got a beautiful dunk down in front of the net. Cats goes for an elevation, tries to go for the double touch, but it is going to be pushed aside by Electrolyte. Does look like Mini Bolt now is going to carry it across midfield. Stripe, pop it up to Hawk, who will send it into the corner to Electrolyte. Plays it off the backboard, but the angle's not quite right, and it goes over every member of Liberty North. Ball is now inside their own defensive third.
Mini Bolt with the dribble. will be taken away from him. Electrolyte has to get the clear from his side now. Cats up and in the way. The 50-50 spills out in favor of Liberty North, but Torque will beat them to it. Instead, go for the double tap off the backboard. Electrolyte into his own corner, high in the air. Free Ink will tap it down to Hawk, who then plays it back to Electrolyte. Past one, the flick towards mid. Hawk bumped out of the way. Minibolt, rather. Now the battle in the midfield will begin. Minibolt looking to get past Torque. He is beat. Electrolyte is next up. Ends up leaving it for Hawk, who gets past one. Only has to get past one more, but Free Ink will take the beat. Cats bumped at the midfield. Minibolt will be able to break through, but they're not able to stay in control. But a miss from Torque. This could be disastrous, and it is. Liberty North will find a second goal off of a misflip from the Wolves.
I'd like to say, yes, they're at that 2-goal lead, which is, as we've said before, the nail in the coffin. But that 2-goal lead comes with the caveat of it being 3 minutes and 20 seconds still on the clock. Plenty of time for the Wolves to find 2 more goals and equalize this out to even just take us into overtime.
Hawk towards the wall, has to get past Torque. Torque doesn't make contact, so Hawk will play it back to himself. Free Ink hits it mid. Cats with a shot, and I believe it's in, just barely not wide. He hits the far post, no one in net. Wolves will find their first goal.
All right, 1 more goal. Roughly 3 minutes left on the clock. That is plenty of time to equalize this out if you are a Wolves fan. But Liberty North now wanting to find an extra goal to make sure they are in no buzzer beater territory. And as I'm saying it, I basically cast or cursed. If there was no one home, no one in the net, Liberty North finds goal number 3.
That 2-goal lead quickly taken back by Liberty North. Still about 3 minutes left on the clock. Hawk will body through one defender, gets past the second, but cannot beat the third Wolf. Now Electrolyte playing towards the wall, playing it slow back to himself, but he is beat by Cats, who takes the pass. No one there to follow it up, so Torque hits it towards the back wall. Hawk playing it into his own corner. Torque going for the solo play, but Minibolt will take it away. And now Free Ink having to reset a play up to Cats. It's not quite good, as Minibolt will find the clear.
Ball crossing midfield stripe. Torque will just pop it up, but it goes straight to Hawk as there was no momentum shift. Ball immediately cleared back to midfield stripe. Electrolyte will ground it and then pop it up for an elevation. Look to play it in the corner. Tries to get it around Free Ink. It goes off the ceiling yet again. Cats has a whiff. Torque will elevate. Look for possession. Gets pushed out of the way. Ball sent back into the back third of the Wolves' defensive territory.
Playing it slow. Cats looks for the shot. Can't get it in, however. Hawk with the 50-50 loss by Torque. Electrolyte with the clear out over to Hawk. A really weird bounce off the corner. He has to wait a second. Hawk looking for the play over to Minibolt. 50-50. Cats will win it out towards the high end of the net. Electrolyte with the shot, but it will not quite bar down. Cats with the last minute clear. 2 defenders in net. Hawk unable to get any kind of pressure with it, so now Cats will get a long, lengthy clear all the way down the other end.
Unfortunately, that clear was done without communication or a purpose, it seems, because we did not have people rotated out towards midfield stripe. It's going to be a challenge to get possession, and it looks like the Wolves will not be able to circumvent the offense and defense of Liberty North. Finally, they're crossing midfield stripe into the back third. Torque has possession, but they need someone to come in and help them out. Hawk swoops around, manages to snag the ball away for a moment, but as Free Ink comes stealing into the midfield stripe, tries to get a return ball. He cannot. Off the crossbar, Minibolt can't get there fast enough and has to reset the play.
Free Ink is up, trying to find a way out past the midfield stripe, is unable to get there easily, however. Electrolyte beats Torque, could be no one in net. Cats barely there in time. If the shot was a little bit further, it would have been in. Hawk looking to get past one, goes to the flipper set, doesn't make quality contact, so he leaves it for Minibolt. Free Ink hits it back towards the wall. Minibolt will tap it towards his own corner, sending Electrolyte reeling back. But the 50-50 is in favor of Cats over to Torque, but it will be high on the backboard. No clear yet from Hawk, but Electrolyte has all the time in the world. With that demo, only one to beat, and the 50-50 into the corner will mean the Wolves have to play some defense.
Cats did make enough disruption to force the ball into the corner, gets it across midfield stripe, pushes way too far forward with the momentum of the ball, and Hawk did get possession. Even though Cats tried to get it clear into the midfield, it was taken over by Liberty North. Ball in defensive third of Wolf territory, and you can hear the crowd. We're less than 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left on the clock. The Wolves are down by 2. I do believe this is a GG go next situation for them. Even if they keep this ball in the air, it does end up grounding. Liberty North winning that first game out by 2.
Yeah, it still felt a little bit like a close game. The early game was pretty much in favor of the Eagles, but all things considered, it was kind of a bunch of really weird whiffs that got cleared up pretty fast. I mean, it was a pretty kind of slow last half of that game. So I could see a very different game 2 about to happen.
I mean, that's pretty standard for Esports Tower, for being completely honest here. It more often goes with one game is won by one team, and then the second game is always won by the other team, because then we go to the standard Esports Tower best of 3.
Yep.
I think that's just what we're needing to call every best of 5 series we ever have, is the Esports Tower best of 3.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like that meme where you see best of 5, and then it's like Tobey Maguire squinting, and it's just actually a best of 3.
Yes,
the Esports Tower best of 3. Yeah, no, that's exactly how I see it at this point, watching the Esports Tower teams. But that's kind of as a result, or a result of them being pretty close in terms of skill. Even if some teams dominate over others, it feels like the games are always, they could go either way individually. The series might be decided already, but these teams are really talented teams and are getting a lot of kind of the best help they can from their coaches.
Yeah, and there's a lot of just small adjustments that they're able to make when this short amount of time that we get between these games. So let's help the coaches game. Just a couple points of advice to the Wolves, and I know my comments of doing things with a purpose seems very vague, but if you're familiar with how most, and this is going to sound weird, sports ball games work, it does make sense, and that is making sure that when you're going for clears, someone's aware that you're doing that, and that creates the purpose. The purpose is to get that ball down the field and have someone there to receive the clear. Things of that nature. Let's see if we start having Wolves act with an intention.
Cats gets the clear out, only has to beat Minibolt. Minibolt concedes the position, so Cats will push downfield. Free Ink is not there to take the shot, however. Hawk pushes it towards the wall. Cats still has a little juice in his tank. Goes to the flip off the backboard. Actually doesn't make contact with the backboard at all. We'll find the first goal in favor of the Wolves.
That was beautiful. Absolutely spicy. Cats do it again.
50-50. Pushing off to the side, kind of even. Hawk will take the first touch, however. Cats hitting it back towards their end. Playing it slow in the corner. Electrolyte looking to get past one, but is unable to. Has to take the pass from his teammate, but the bump will make it impossible to make a play out of it. Does end up beating Wolves defender. Now only has to get past Cats. Cats is off the sidewall, however, and is able to get it out in time. Minibolt is persistent about making this defensive play happen, though.
Electrolyte whiffs and tries to go for a demo. Instead, Free Ink's going to demo Electrolyte. Have a 50-50 go in favor of Cats in the corner to get it over Minibolt, but it just barely graces over the top of the net, hitting that top crossbar. No one's there for the rebound play. Hawk is able to take a few touches at midfield. Cats comes in, shoots the ball into the corner, is ready to go for the challenge against Electrolyte off the ceiling, and gets almost the perfect angle, but it hits the crossbar again.
Electrolyte kind of playing slow around one, beats Torque, doesn't beat Free Ink, who hits it towards the backboard. Minibolt towards his own corner, has to get past Cats, doesn't make quality contact. Cats can turn around here, but only so Hawk can cut in the way. Plays it, Cats actually goes for the in the air bump on Hawk, creating another offensive opportunity for his team. Minibolt is looking to get out as fast as possible. Electrolyte with a bump demo will push it over to Cats, and now Cats can remain in control. Free Ink has to get the 50-50 cleanup, however. Plays it off the wall, pushes it back towards Minibolt's corner, and we will reset the offensive play all over again.
Ball is going to go to the other corner here inside the V-North territory. 50-50 goes in favor of Cats. Electrolyte finds the clear, crossing midfield stripe. Torque now racing back to gain possession in the defensive third of Wolves territory. Is getting thrown around by Hawk. Cats tries to drop down fast enough, but can't. Minibolt with possession, looking for an opportunity. Cannot find it. Electrolyte tries to reset the centering play. Ball gets cleared. Can the Wolves race down in time to get possession? They will not. Instead, it's going to be Liberty North resetting these offensive plays again from their own territory. Electrolyte elevating with the ball. Gonna drop it down right in front of Cats, who leaves it for Torque to bring it out of the corner of the defensive third of Wolves territory.
Torque looking for the full shot. Hawk is there to block it. Not very well, however. Electrolyte with the follow-up will keep it in play. Cats with the read off the sidewall, has the double touch, and he will come all the way off the corner of the sidewall, reading that shot off the backboard and finding a solo play goal for the Wolves.
That was... Cats has done a coast-to-coast play twice now, and they're beautiful. Torque, though, looking to set up their own goal. Unfortunately, it will be thwarted by Hawk. He pops the ball over to Minibolt. Minibolt dunks the ball down, ends up with Cats. Cats looks for the opportunity to set it to Free Ink. Free Ink is there for the connection, and that's goal number 3 for the Wolves.
A steady lead for the Wolves now. And yeah, like we've talked about, it's a complete switch up from game 1. We could easily be looking at that Esports Tower best of 3. Free Ink looking to make that lead just a little bit more sturdy. Torque leading the charge on the sidewall, but Minibolt will be able to get it out possibly to a teammate on the sidewall, but no one's there to respond. Cats will hit it towards the backboard. Past Electrolyte. Hawk will make contact, however, as Free Ink hits it back towards the backboard. Electrolyte hits it away. Hawk with the follow-up over to the corner, and now Cats has to make a play. Looks for the double tap off the sidewall. Doesn't make contact. Torque doesn't make contact, and now 2 defenders up. Minibolt only has to get past 1. Hawk looking for the bump, and they don't end up getting past in time. Defense for the Wolves now.
Electrolyte goes for the challenge. Free Ink's going to come in against them. It's going to pinch the ball over the side. Most of Liberty North has rotated back into defensive positioning, but Minibolt's not giving it up just yet, nor is Hawk. They come in from the midfield. Strike ball gets popped up near the ceiling. Electrolyte collides with 1. Free Ink plays it around another. Torque elevates, pops the ball up, has Free Ink, has Cats. They're both trying to play for disruption, but all 3 members of Liberty North see through the deception, manage to get into the defensive positions in time, take another shot from Free Ink, and it's going to be hitting that top corner.
Torque towards the corner, can't follow up, has to go for the bump. Hawk evades the bump, gets it up, but Cats will be in the way, pushing it towards the other side. Cats takes the shot, and it's good. 4 goals for Cat, 100% goal participation off the pass, and Cats is running game 2 of Wolves versus Liberty North.
I do believe that's Cat's hat trick, is it not?
It is. It's his 3rd goal, and he had the assist on the other.
That's absolutely beautiful. Cats, nicely done. Way to see you waking up and those gears getting turning properly. Electrolyte now with possession in their own defensive third. Torque comes in, tries to pinch the ball off, but it looks like unfortunate positioning from them, and Cats is just a forward called Torque car pileup. Results in no goal. We are down to the last 3 seconds. Ball hits the ground now at this point, and the game is over. Wolves are going to walk away with game 2 victory, and we are at a Esports Tower best of 3.
Yeah, so going into this game 1 of best of 3, right now it looks pretty sturdy for Crazy Cat. He's kind of running the game right now. He's definitely popping off, but overall you have to give it to his teammates too. They're creating a lot of opportunities. Free Ink especially, I don't know if you can tell, but he is all over the bumps in the demos right now. Every opportunity, every time he sees an opposing color on his screen, he's like, I must hit that. And regardless of what happens with it, it works sometimes, it doesn't work other times, but right now this strategy seems to be working out for them.
I mean, I'm all here for it, as I've always preached about that style of gameplay. I don't care who hates on me. I think it's valid. It's a mechanic. If they didn't want it to be a mechanic, it'd have a larger cooldown. It would, in fact, have a cooldown so that you can do just back-to-back demos constantly in Rocket League. But with that being said, right now, I can't call this game either way. We mentioned that after the end of the first game. Both these teams are doing a fantastic job making adjustments, but it seems to me like Liberty North is starting to become a little bit more hesitant. They weren't prepared for what the Wolves were going to do in game number 2, evident by the fact that they stayed in their goal a lot. All 3 members stayed in the goal a lot.
Yeah, definitely. They had to play a lot of defense. This Crazy Cat, especially leading the charge on offense, just made it so much harder for them to put the plays together. We'll have to see if they can make an adjustment here now. Minibolt looking for a solo play of his own. Cats is unable to get in the way. This is a shot, and it's good. Far corner shot from Hawk. Liberty North will get their lead back, and they will get their first goal after for the last 5 minutes, actually, because they were held scoreless in game 2. We'll have to see if that remains the case here for the Wolves. Torque.
Beautiful pop-up. Can they get it past Electrolyte? No, they cannot. Electrolyte going for the challenge. Cat, though, returns the favor. Has Free Ink behind them. Challenge came a little bit too soon, so Free Ink has to cut in from the other side.
Pass down from Minibolt to Electrolyte. It is good, but however, it's not good enough to get past Cats. Will take the bar down shot and push the Wolves back into a 0-0 situation with Liberty North. 4 minutes and 26 left on the clock as 50-50 will roll out. The Ink will actually get bumped out of the way, but Cats, a little bit of a miscoordination there, but Cats almost goes the entire length anyway with an air dribble, forcing Liberty North to make a really awkward save. Minibolt has to make the clear out to the corner now, and he does. Electrolyte bumping his own teammate. Torque able to keep pressure on a little bit longer. Cats can take the shot here, but it's cleared out by Hawk over to Free Ink, playing it slow. Doesn't have an angle quite yet. Has to 50-50 with Hawk, and he does get the 50-50 in favor. Minibolt with the long clear off the backboard, however, will create an opportunity for Liberty North to move out, only to be then beaten by Cats, who goes for the shot, and a backflip from Hawk will mean that Cats has scored the 2nd goal for the Wolves, and all the goals to Cats' name again.
Just one more, and Cats will get another hat trick off kickoff. We have as Free Ink going for a challenge against Hawk. Looks like Electrolyte will cut in, get a slight centering opportunity. Cats returning the volley. Now ball in defensive third of Liberty North territory. It's in the air. Minibolt goes to dunk it down. Hawk looks as though they were trying to go for an elevation, but whiffs it. So Electrolyte pushes the ball into the corner, has a challenge from Torque. Torque's just gonna push them out of the way and allow Cats to get in, but Cats didn't recognize the opportunity until a little bit too late. So Minibolt now has possession of the midfield.
50-50 from Minibolt, rolls out to the corner. Cats has to beat him off the ceiling, and he does. Gets the clear past one, doesn't quite make contact there from Hawk. Cats taking it all the way into the far corner. Electrolyte looking for the clear. Minibolt will pass it out anyway. Now maybe looking for a flick out mid. He does get it over one. Hawk with the 50-50. This could be an opportunity here. Is there any follow-up at all? There is, but it's a complete whiff from both players. Cats has to play it out and high now in order to create space. Electrolyte looking to stop that play as soon as possible. Free Inc. waiting patiently below. Will get the clear out into the orange end of the field. Now Cats leaving the ball for a demo, but he doesn't make contact, so Hawk gets to go the length of the field to be blocked by Torque. The battle for midfield will begin again as Electrolyte starts us off on the ping pong.
Electrolyte loses possession as Free Inc. came in, dunked the ball down. Minibolt went for a shot. It's going to be turned away by Torque. Now it looks like Electrolyte's going to grab it off the wall, challenge by Cats. Ball's going to ricochet down towards an empty net. No one's home yet again for Liberty North, and that is another goal for the Wolves. Number 3 for Cats, yet again getting a hat trick with just under half of game number 3 left.
Cats putting so much offensive pressure on the field just by existing. He's playing it around the corner, looks to play past one more, gets past Electrolyte, gets past another defender. He outplays all 3 players, pushes through, finds a 4th goal to his name with still 2 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. Cats running Esports Tower game 1 here today.
It's been a while since we've gotten to see Cats, and they are definitely demonstrating that they have been doing a lot of practice on their downtime and working with the coaches quite a bit. Now we've got As Free Inc. elevating with possession, looking to play off the backboard, but didn't quite get the back momentum that they needed off the bounce. So Cats is going to go in and try to get a shot in. It's going to be defended and deflected over towards the side. As Free Inc. looking to set this up again, but loses possession and momentum. Hawk sending the ball into the goal box inside the Wolves' territory.
Cats gets past 2 on his own. Electrolyte has to block, but not well enough that Torque can't get past. Offensive pressure in favor of the Wolves now. Liberty North remain in control of the ball, however. Free Inc. doesn't make contact. Electrolyte's bumped, and they will find a way out of their end for a little longer. Wolves over to Torque, who does get the clear. Cats off the high bar into the corner. Free Inc. looks for the 50-50. It's over to Torque. Beaten by Minibolt over to the other wall. Cats is waiting patiently for the play to kind of create itself here. Free Inc. with the 50-50. Cats playing back. Torque passes back, but not in a way that Electrolyte can't beat them to it. Could be an opportunity here, and he does get past Free Inc.
Yikes.
Just a little bit of an over-rotation, not quite understanding what Electrolyte was capable of, and we'll go to a 4-2 differential at 1 minute left.
That's roughly a goal every 30 seconds if Liberty North is looking to equalize things out here in their favor. It's 1 every 20 seconds if they're looking to get in the lead. If Cats can get another goal in here, I do believe it's going to thwart any opportunity for Liberty North to equalize this game out in their favor. And as I'm saying that, he scores a goal. You can consider it a cast a curse for me just saying exactly what's going to happen.
Dirty by Cats to recognize that the Liberty North defender had already pre-jumped him, so he went low. Free Inc. looking for a play of his own, and oh my goodness. It seems like Cats especially, but the Wolves together kind of had their Joker moment in game 1, and they are refusing to let up on Liberty North. They're taking another 4-0 lead overall into Liberty North in the last minute of this game 3. Torque off the sidewall. Cats with the follow-up. It's a shot, and it's good. Cats with another one. I believe that's 6 to his name now in this game. The pop-off from Crazy Cats.
Chill out. You still have another one left if you're looking to close out the series in the next game, Crazy Cat. We got 33 seconds left on the clock. 5 goals is what Liberty North needs to equalize this out. Again, this is a GG go next type situation for Liberty North, as that's just way too many gosh darn goals, and that gap just got even wider with the Wolves now sitting at 8 goals with 23 seconds left on the clock. That's 6. That's impossible.
That was probably one of the nastiest scoop flicks I have seen in Esports Tower history. An amazing setup from the Wolves there, and with the clock winding down here, Liberty North has to be just thinking about a go next situation. You have to remember, game 4, we're back to 0-0. It's not going to feel nearly as bad, so let's not take this negative energy into game 4, because we have no more lives left.
There's no time left on the clock. All that's left is for the ball to hit the ground. Liberty North might look for a morality goal, but it looks like the Wolves might be playing with their boot a little bit, looking to get a goal number 9, but instead Cats can't get it. Ball gets grounded, and that puts the Wolves at match point.
that was probably the spiciest offense I have seen in Esports Tower in the last 2 minutes. Some amazing shots. It wasn't even just a lot of mistakes necessarily. I mean, everything's a mistake when it comes down to it, right? Because there's always ways to prevent stuff. But the plays that the Wolves offense were creating were just so creative and so well thought out, and they did a good job of keeping control of the play at all times. Really impressive offense right at the end there.
I don't know what happened. It seems like their coach kind of grabbed them and shook them and said, you guys can do better than this. Like, eat them alive. Because holy cow, they played like a completely different team in that game than they had in the earlier games. I don't know, like their coach was just like, play fast. They don't know how to respond, because that's kind of what it seemed like every time that they were going at their own pace, which is much faster than that of Liberty North. It seems like they were succeeding.
Yeah, I have to agree there. And this is something we talked about with Boise State University last week, I believe. A little bit about how a lot of the goal of Rocket League is to make them play at your own pace, or just force them to try to play catch up the whole game. And it feels like that's really the strategy the Wolves are executing on right now. Have to see if that remains true in Game 4. They only need one more to go. I imagine Liberty North is not going to give it to him so easily, though. Torque leading the charge, maybe with a, oh, he almost gets a double touch off the backboard. It's just a little bit too high. Now Electrolyte has to find a way past Cats. Can't do it quite yet. Maybe looks for Hawk. A demo from Free Inc. Now he plays back as Cats looks to get around one. Hawk playing it off the sidewall. Torque going up to meet him. Free Inc. gets past one. It's in the corner. Electrolyte can beat both of them if he plays it right. However, gets past two. Cats is the last defender. He hits it over past the corner. Hawk has to slow it down for a second. Gives enough time for Free Inc. to take the ball away. Now they're pushing into the other corner to play a little offense of their own.
Ball's going to drop down. Free Inc. just chips it near the net. Mini Bolt read it well. Didn't try to get a touch in, as they could have had their own goal in that situation. Instead, they waited patiently. Now ball is inside the defensive third of Wolves territory. Free Inc. trying to send it to the corner. It goes to Cats, who's going to elevate, get it across midfield stripe. Torque is trying to go for the 50-50, but Hawk gets it. Free Inc. elevates, takes an awkward bounce off the ceiling. Electrolyte's going to be able to come in, play the ball off the backboard, but Cats prevents the ricochet play by sending it over towards the side.
No contact from Mini Bolt or Free Inc. This could be an opportunity, and a beat from Hawk will lead Liberty North to lead again going into Game 4. We'll have to see if that is a lead that they can hold. They were certainly not able of doing it last game, but something has changed for sure. They've managed to keep the Wolves on there and a little bit longer. Mini Bolt able to get past one, looking for the second play. Cats wins the 50-50, gets past the second one, only has one more defender to beat, but he's playing it off in the corner instead. Doesn't have a lot of boost in the tank, gets past one. Electrolyte with the clear high will take it past one, has one more to beat, but the slowdown will give him so little space to work with as Cats will go in. Hawk with the beat off the sidewall. Torque is in the way, pushes downfield. Cats is bumped by Electrolyte, but he does get a good enough touch to stop Liberty North from pushing any further. It stays at the midfield line. It continues to stay at the midfield line. Torque finally breaks through as Hawk is looking to stop him in the corner. He does get the fake off from Torque. Free Inc. up with the shot, but it will go wide as Cats looks to make a play of his own, probably a solo play. Gets over one, only has to get past one more, but the 50-50 clear will go in favor of Liberty North as they battle it out in front of their net a little longer.
There's a double commit from the defenders, but the response from Cats was a little bit too slow. Now Mini Bolt with possession in the air has the ball bounce off the wall, so they lose it. Free Inc. sends it to Torque, who's going to play it in the corner to center it up. Again, a double commit from the defense, but it was fast enough that it crosses the midfield stripe into defensive third of Wolves territory. Electrolyte leaves it for Hawk. Hawk tries to cut the ball in towards the net. Instead, Cats gets possession for a few moments. Electrolyte pushes the ball over Cats. Hawk goes down, taken out by Torque at the midfield stripe. Cats is going to pop the ball up, look for an elevation, but instead send it to the side and look for a centering opportunity for themselves or a teammate, but instead it's going to be the defense who touches the ball first.
Doomsday Dash opportunity for Free Inc., but he doesn't quite make contact. Hawk playing it around from the corner, has three defenders to get past. Cats will say no thank you, take it off the wall to himself. Now looking for the touch off the backboard, but it will get cleared out by Liberty North defense, playing it to the other corner. Cats kind of tease it up for his teammate, but it won't end up resulting in anything. Torque has to play some midfield line, try to just stall a little bit. Hawk with the clear out will mean that he's playing defense now. Free Inc. off the wall, 50-50 with Torque, will spill out in front of the net. Now the clear out in favor of Electrolyte as he keeps it in their end of the field a little longer. Ooh, Cats barely able to make a save at the last moment there. And now Hawk pushes it into the corner, trying to reset an offensive play.
Mini Bolt looks for an opportunity with Electrolyte coming in to tee off of them. It does hit the top crossbar, ricochet out as Free Inc. just has to get this ball in the back of the net fast enough, but they didn't have enough speed, and Hawk managed to race back in. We are down to the last minute, 15 seconds of game number 4. Currently, Wolves are leading in our series at match point. If they win this game out, they will close out this series and take Liberty North down into the second chance bracket. Liberty North winning in the lead currently by 1 goal as we have 1 minute left.
Free Inc. looking for the long clear, gets over one. Cats is up, blocked instead by Electrolyte off the wall. Free Inc. gets the touch into the corner, playing it slow, able to get past one, but not able to get past Electrolyte. It's pushed it top. Now Cats with the clear. Hawk is in the way, leaves it for Minibolt, who clears it back into the corner. Not quite able to make an offensive play yet with only 33 seconds left on the clock. Oh, and it's in. No defense present for the Wolves as they're able to sneak one in from the front post. And now the Wolves need to score once every 15 seconds about just to force an overtime situation. Definitely doable.
But they need to basically score a goal right now in order for that dream to come to fruition. We have Hawk bringing the ball up, taking too many touches, too slow. Cats tries to get the centering opportunity to find the goal, but can't. Has an unfortunate whiff. Free Inc. tries to reset it. We are now down into roughly the last 10 seconds. At this point, this is a GG go next for the Wolves, and we are going to be tied to a side as far as the series score goal goes, meaning game number 5 is the ultimate end-all, be-all, no-holds-barred game. Ball is grounded. Liberty North walks away with the victory.
And now we've gone to game 5, or the Esports Tower best of 1. But yeah, it's looking like that was a completely different game than we saw before. I felt like maybe the Wolves were giving them a little bit too much respect, letting them run the game a little bit more than they did in game 4 or in game 3. But we'll have to see if it's just that or if it's just good defenses ending up wearing down the offense from Wolves.
Possibly there was a lot of double commits that I saw coming out from the side of Liberty North, and just the response from the Wolves wasn't quite fast enough. I'm not positive if that's just due to the fact that they are respecting the side of Liberty North to the point where it's like, oh, they're not going to double commit. We shouldn't try to go for the rebound play every single time. But there was at least 2 situations where I saw back-to-back double commits. So I think that respect is it's viable. It's important to have respect for your enemy team, but you need to anticipate that there's going to be a double commit here and there and just try to be ready for the opportunity to capitalize on those mistakes.
Yeah, I think in that kind of situation, that would have been the game to make a lot of aggressive mistakes, especially when you have more lives left and your opponent doesn't. You want them to feel the stress at this point in the series, but now with no one having any lives left, you've got to play some perfect Rocket League in order to come out on top, and this is not the situation that they wanted, especially after that game 3. They might have felt like they had it in the bag.
As we go into this first kickoff, the 50-50 goes in favor of Minibolt, but the follow-up is going to come from Electrolyte. Ball's going to barely just skirt across the top of the ceiling. Minibolt goes for the challenge against Torque. Torque tries to dunk it down. It's going to be popped up by Hawk, sent to the back wall of the Wolves' territory, and ricochet straight back into the Liberty North defensive third.
Electrolyte trying to go the whole length. Cats will get a big clear towards the wall that he'll follow up on. Plays it back to himself. Looks for the flick. Gets past one. Gets the bump on the defender. The defender was just too slow. He gave him too much time to set up the play, and Wolves have Cats leading the charge into their lead. Only 30 seconds left, or 30 seconds into this game so far.
Free Inc. Gonna pop the ball up here, dunk it down to, I believe that was Cats. Yes, and Cats takes a cross-map shot. No, Cats took one extra touch to try and make sure that ball was in, and I believe that's what sets it off course.
A little bit too unsure of that play. I was pretty sure it was in regardless. He's got another opportunity. Yep, he just gets past. He only has to get the one touch here. Yep, and he does. All right.
All right.
All right, so he's got his second goal now. Could have an opportunity maybe for a hat trick already, but Cats again leading the charge. Looks like if Liberty North can't shut down Cats the way that they did in game 4, they're going to be in trouble. They still have plenty of opportunities here though. Electrolyte looking to make a play happen, now has to rotate back. Torque leading the charge on the bumps this time around, but Electrolyte's able to get the clear out in time. Cats playing it towards his own corner, just trying to slow down the play. Ends up barely missing that boost timer. Just very unfortunate. Free Inc. having to play slow, trying to beat Hawk, but just doesn't end up getting there faster. Clear off the sidewall was in favor of Free Inc., but Minibolt will find the beat instead.
Torque with possession, gets it around Minibolt, has to battle it around Electrolyte, can't do it, pops it up, and ends up going to Hawk, who tries to send it to the corner. They do manage to cross midfield stripe, but Cats is going to be the one with possession, loses it after it takes too fast of a ricochet, goes for the recontest challenge from Electrolyte. Ball's going to be grounded at midfield, and it's going to be Torque with possession playing it off the wall.
Going for the ceiling touch, maybe a pass from this position. Doesn't get that good of a touch, however. Minibolt pushes it towards the wall. Hawk is there for the beat. Free Ink, however, 50-50, plays it a little bit slower. Minibolt has to just throw it away to the wall. If there's any blue defender on the wall, it could be disaster, but there's no one there quite yet. Electrolyte not able to make contact, but they still remain in control of the play as Wolves respect the opportunity for them to hit the ball there. Minibolt trying to play it past Cats, but Cats will get the 50-50. It'll spill at mid. Electrolyte, not that great of a clear. Torque has an opportunity here, but he just hits it towards the corner instead, maybe looking for that snapshot. Doesn't quite make contact with it, however. Now Cats leading charge, just has to get past one. Oh, almost forces it in off the 50-50. It bounced off the inside of the far post, but it will not be good. All three defenders from the Wolves on the right side, they have to reconnect here. Three of them in the way of each other, trying to get past one defender. Torque is able to do it, however, and we will be stuck on Liberty North end once more.
No one in possession at midfield stripe. Free Ink cuts in, centers it up. No teammates to respond from the Wolves, so instead Liberty North gets a free clear into the defensive third of Wolves territory. Torque goes for a clear to the side. It's going to be Hawk battling against Cats. Cats with possession, sends the ball too far forward, and a shot on goal going to be turned away by Minibolt. Ball gets popped up again here in Liberty North territory. Does look like Free Ink was sent to the spawn, so now at midfield stripe, Torque looking to battle out possession away from Minibolt, but has to retreat instead.
Pass mid from Minibolt. Hawk blocked at the last moment. Cats now looking for a big clear, gets past one, but it bounces down from the ceiling, so it'll slow down. He could get beat here, but no, Minibolt ends up just leaving it. A double commit from Minibolt and Hawk. Torque trying to hit it back around. Electrolyte barely able to get it out. Free Ink stopping him at the midfield line. Free Ink stopping Hawk at the midfield line as well. Cats gets an opportunity to shoot, goes for the double touch, and it's barely not good, barely forced out by Liberty North at the last moment. Free Ink trying to create another opportunity here. Torque is in the way, he could take the shot, but Electrolyte is there in time. Now Cats resetting the play, playing it off the wall, back to himself, leaving it for his teammate who takes the shot. Follow-up from Cats is not quite good. Electrolyte with the clear out. Now they just have to reset the play. Electrolyte getting past the midfield line. Hawk looking for the shot from that position, and Free Ink will block it towards the wall. Minute coming down on the clock. Oh, and a shot from Cats. It'll be good. Cats will find yet another hat trick. I believe that's 3, actually maybe 4, because he scored 6 in that one game. 4 hat tricks to his name.
Technically speaking, yes. One for every game, but 2 were in one of them because the first game was a little rough for the Wolves. With that being said, kickoff in favor of the Wolves. Torque here at the midfield. Can't get the ball away from Hawk. It's going to be Cats to dunk it down past 1, past 2, but the response comes from Minibolt, who tries to play it off the backboard for a centering opportunity. Can't find the follow-up, so Electrolyte goes to reset the play. Instead, it's going to try and pinch the ball off, and it's going to be Cats who reads it well, bringing it to midfield stripe, and is going to unfortunately lose possession.
Torque playing it the long way, trying to get another touch, find the back of the net, gets the flip reset. It's not quite good. Electrolyte will force it out. Hawk playing it off the wall now. Free Ink with a block, playing it from the ceiling, not able to make contact. Cats with a shot towards the high corner. Electrolyte is there and in the way. Cats is going to take another shot, but he hits it towards the backboard instead. Bounce off the wall. Free Ink with the touch towards the back of the net. Cats has an opportunity here.
It's a rule 1.
Oh, it is a rule 1. 0 seconds left on the clock, but as the time winds down, Wolves will take this series in Game 5, holding Liberty North to a 0-goal deficit.
Nicely done, Wolves. I'll be completely honest, every single game it seems like you guys changed up your play style, and it seemed as though Liberty North just did not know how to respond to these changes. And that's just kind of the key to success in almost every esport, is making sure the other team is reacting and responding to you, and you're the one setting the pace of every single game you play in. And, you know, Joe, going at it alone can only get you so far. We definitely saw Cats facilitating not only their teammates, but facilitating a lot of their own plays as well. And we can see how much these teams have, how much these players and these teams have grown since joining Esports Tower. And if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up those ever so important team skills. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to give a shout out to Coach Jake. And if you're watching and haven't checked out the Esports Tower clubs, you definitely should. It's a fast track to help you rank up. So Liberty North is going to be taken down by the Wolves, which is honestly not what I anticipated. I did not think we'd see them down in the second chance bracket after game number 1, because last week they made it pretty far, still ended up in the second chance bracket, but it wasn't after their first game.
Yeah, it's kind of not what I anticipated either, especially since how well the Eagles did last time. But if it was going to happen anyway, I'm not surprised at all that it happened in a Game 5. It kind of felt like it was really one-directional through a lot of that series, but at the end of the day, it still was a Game 5. Very tight series altogether. And Crazy Cat popped off.
Yeah, I can't argue with that statement. Crazy Cat, Cats, it could be someone completely different. So I'm going to go with Cats for now.
Oh, yeah.
Until we find out otherwise. You were kind of insane. I wouldn't be shocked if you can carry your team, but unfortunately being a playmaker as much as you were does mean that you kind of are also the weakest link as to, like, you create the opportunity for other teams to take advantage of how much you facilitate your team, and so if you're gone, there's not a whole lot someone else they can do. But with that being said, we still have 3 more games left tonight, and we're going to take a quick break before we jump into game number 2.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com. We're broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight, the Wolves have set the tone with a decisive victory over the Eagles. Can the Barracudas continue their winning streak and take down the Mammoths, sending them down into the lower brackets? I'm still your host, Artie Rain, and on desk with me calling all of the action is Joe Chigbrow. All right, so game number 1, I feel as though it kind of went as we thought it would. We'd been saying how most of these teams are pretty equally matched, and bringing it out to game number 5, pretty standard. Now we've got our 2-time reigning champion, and before that, of course, you know, the Barracudas have plenty of other championship titles to their names, but I'm only counting this group of Barracudas, so it's only 2 because we change rosters so frequently that it's not the same Barracuda squad. Unless this week we have returning members, it's the squad that's won the last 2 tournaments. That being said, what are you hoping to see from the Barracudas this week?
Honestly, a lot more discipline. They are a team that has a lot of talent, a lot of built-in offensive pressure. So a lot of the time that can get away from them pretty fast, and they can end up leaving a lot of opportunities for long clears just straight to the net that end up pushing them a little bit further behind than they might want. Or just a lot of over-under extension kind of all three of them trying to figure out where they belong on the pitch. And I think at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to adding a little bit more discipline to their offensive prowess.
I really can't argue with that evaluation of that team. They do tend to get a little bit overzealous at times, and it bites them in the heels quite a bit. But with that being said, all of these players in the Esports Tower are actually really gifted, and we want to give a quick congratulations to all the Esports Tower club members who've graduated from the clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, the Esports Tower club members have received $3.6 million in scholarship awards. These students are not only working hard on their in-game play, but they've worked hard academically to earn these scholarship opportunities. Players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Just wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I mean, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. I can't fathom it.
No, I keep thinking, like, where are these kids going that they're getting that much money, man?
Right?
That's crazy.
I mean, there are some private schools that I know of that do offer quite large scholarships, and that is the other thing. Is it's like you have to have those good grades to get the big scholarships. You can't just be super skilled at the game and come into it just thinking that's enough. And with that being said, we can take a quick look at the brackets here. So far, we've had the Eagles take on the Wolves. The Wolves ended up victorious, sending the Eagles down into that lower bracket. Now we're going to have the Mammoths face off against our two-time reigning champion of the Barracudas, who's going to end up on top and go into the winners finals. We'll have to just wait and see. And before we take off into that game, we actually can give some important, words of advice to the players that are going to be going up against one another, wanting to maintain their prowess. And they come in the form of Doc's Keys to the Game, presented today by Esports Tower. They are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So the Barracudas are back-to-back champions. Can they continue to win this out? They are kind of in the hot seat, though, considering that they are the champions so frequently. Perhaps they've been scouted a little bit. I'm really hoping to see the Mammoths play a drastically different game than they played last week because, again, they were predominantly having to respond to the other team. I feel as though they need to pick up the mantle of the Wolves and their own team, the Barracudas, and just, play this pace, force the pace of the game in their favor. And playing slow seems like you can be toppled quite a bit. It's really difficult to maintain that tempo, but I think going fast is the strategy here. Do you have any counter suggestions?
I think, honestly, the thing that seems to break down from the offensive end, the thing that seems to break down the Barracudas the most is a really solid, well-rotated defense. Seems to kind of wear out their offense a lot of the time. If they're not hitting those passes every time and you're cutting down those plays and you're just making sure that everyone's not colliding with each other as you're going through the motions on rotations, on defense, it's really hard for them to kind of create those cracks. And it will give you an opportunity where eventually they'll become overzealous and they'll become desperate and they'll move up really far, and then you can just crack one all the way downfield and it'll roll in. So I think knowing what I know about the Barracudas, my goal would be to play some really strong defense and focus primarily on letting them wear themselves out.
Wow, if you are one of the enemy players who just heard that from Joe, holy cow, he just gave you the keys to victory. We need to have a Joe's keys to the game on top of a Doc's keys to the game in Esports Tower. That's just my own personal opinion.
Going into this, we'll have to see who reigns on top first. For the Barracudas, we have essentially Boss Baby and X13. Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, we're going to go with 13 or X13, either one. But
yeah.
Not the whole name, but Gababy is going to do what Gababy normally does and find the first goal here for the Barracudas in this best of 5 series. For the side of the Mammoths, we got State AR7007, who we just call State. We've got Switch Among Us and Toke.
Right off the bat, Switch. Oh, a triple commit from the Barracudas. Toke playing it slow towards the sidewall, not able to remain in full control. Pushes out towards his opponent. Nope, State and Toke don't quite make contact here.
Essentially Boss DC'd for a little bit, looked like, but they came back.
Okay, X13 playing off the wall. Doesn't quite make quality contact. A little bit of a kind of both teams awkwardly kind of figuring out where they belong on the pitch.
Perhaps evidence of being a relatively new rosters, because these are not the same players that we saw for either team.
State's going to elevate and whiff, leaving it for Switch, who has a challenge for Gababy. Ball's going to be pushed in the corner, still inside the Barracuda territory. Gababy does an awkward give and go that actually results in the ball staying in the Barracuda territory even longer.
Essentially Boss waiting on the boost, does get beat out by Switch towards the wall. Gababy will play it slow. State trying to get past one, does flick it towards the net, but X13 will have the clear all the way to the other end of the field, and Switch will hit it out at the last moment. Now to play a little bit of ping pong in the midfield.
Switch taking their time, pops up over one, can't get it past Gababy, and essentially Boss will close out the clear, bringing it into the corner, back there to Mammoth's territory. State goes for the challenge, can't get a clean touch on it. Instead, they're going to send it to Toke, who now is crossing midfield stripe, only challenged by Gababy.
X13 up with the clear, Switch pushing it towards the wall. Maybe going for a dribble here. State trying to set up a similar play, but X13 will be in the way this time. Bumped Toke by accident by State. Now Gababy has a little bit of space to get a long clear with, and a bad touch from Switch will mean that they have pressure, they have a shot, and X13 will find the back of the net, the first goal in the series.
We have roughly half this game left. Barracudas are leading this series by 2. Mammoth still sitting at that unfortunate goose egg. Ball's going to take a ricochet off the ceiling in Barracuda territory. X13 finds a slight clear. It's going to be followed up on by Gababy. Ball now in the corner, defensive third of Mammoth territory.
Gababy passed one. State taking it towards his own corner, has a little bit of space to work with. X13 with the 50-50 off the wall, but it will go in favor of the Mammoths. Maybe pushing it towards the wall, maybe looking for a solo play here or a pass to X13. X13 will end up going for the wall as well as Gababy, but they won't be able to make anything of the pinch. And now they have to reset offensive play here at the midfield line.
Ball goes in front of the Barracuda's goal. It's going to be Gababy with the challenge against Toke. Dunks down, barely pinched off essentially Boss's head twice and does not go into the net.
That was wild, the amount of time that spent almost inside. Now State looking to recreate that, but this time with the explosion at the end of it. He almost gets it, but X13 barely taps it out at the last moment. Toke trying to keep it in play off the wall. X13 with the clear, but switches up. 50-50 in the midfield. Will spill out to essentially Boss, who doesn't quite make contact. Switch doesn't make contact. Toke doesn't make contact. Gababy doesn't. What?
Yeah.
This is intentional now. This is intentional.
I don't know what's happening. I think someone probably disconnected, and so no one's wanting to touch the ball right now is most likely the case. And finally, they've returned, so now players might be touching the ball. I think something kooky was going on. And to make it fair, just no one was touching it. The rule is once a goal is scored, we're not allowed to stop the game, and so they wanted to make sure that everyone had all their members on the field. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, maybe X13 plays it around Switch. State pushing it up the wall, but he's not quite able to get the good clear yet, as essentially Boss will force him to play in the corner a little longer.
Gababy sends the ball across. It's going to be essentially Boss to push it all the way across. Trying to go for a center up, but can't. The momentum of the ball was stolen away due to one of the Mammoth's members. Ball crossing midfield stripe into defensive third. Gababy goes for the clear to the mid. Challenge by Switch. It's going to be sent right back towards the midfield stripe by essentially Boss. Now in the back third of Mammoth territory.
State, long clear downfield, blocked by X13. Essentially Boss tried to get in the way to push it a little further. X13 gets the tap down in front of the net. Not really something you can shoot quite yet. State will get the clear. Switch is going to follow up, but essentially Boss probably beats him here. Actually leaves it for X13. Clock's winding down. A 2-0 lead for the Barracudas. Boss hits it over to the corner, and that will probably be it.
All that's left is for this ball to be grounded. The Barracudas walk away with a Game 1 victory. Now the question is, are the Mammoths going to return the favor and end up winning out game number 2? Or is it actually going to be the rare occasion here in Esports Tower where we see a 3-0 sweep?
Yeah, I feel like it's highly unlikely we see a 3-0 sweep just because it doesn't happen.
It's Esports
I mean,
Tower.
I don't have actual evidence. My evidence is that I made it up off of past experience. But, yeah, no, I'm expecting it, honestly, to be a win in this case for the Mammoths, just because they didn't really look that bad anyway. I mean, it felt like there was a lot of coordination issues from both sides It felt like they were kind of feeling each other out and getting into a rhythm, and they kind of had it towards the end. But the Mammoths, really, all things considered, didn't look that bad. They played some solid defense, and there were definitely a lot of opportunities where the ball was just kind of hanging out right in front of the Barracuda's net, where it could have gone completely differently. We could have seen a completely different game, maybe even overtime.
I mean, we did see like solid 20 seconds where no one touched the ball.
There was that too, yeah. We'll have to see going into this game too, whether or not we're going to have the Esports Tower Classic, or whether or not the Barracudas are just going to say, well, we're going to go next. Let's get us going into our next series. So far,
I mean, it's a lot of games to play back-to-back. You're better off just 3-0ing it if you can.
I think everyone would prefer the 3-0 if you're, I mean, everyone just wants to win, right?
That's true.
It's a friendly competition, but it's still a competition. Oh, wow. An interesting 50-50 from the corner. Almost goes all the way in, but Toke is barely able to clear it out. Could be an opportunity here, but it will get cleared out by Mammoth's defense.
Baby goes for the challenge against Switch. It's going to be 2-on-1. Essentially, Boss just takes all of Switch's momentum. Toke collides with essentially Boss. 13 tries to ground it here right in front of the net. It's going to manage to get a slight clear to the side. Gababy challenged against Toke. Manages to get it to just above the goal area, but Switch, trying to play it around Gababy, has to have essentially Boss come in and help them out.
50-50. Almost an opportunity. X13 with the pass out mid. Not quite able to make anything of it. State with the pass towards the far corner. Gababy has to play it slow. Needs to get it over to his teammate, essentially Boss, who does get the clear out mid. Gababy with the double touch off the sidewall will beat State. And now they just need to find the back of the net, and Boss barely beat out by Mammoth's defense.
Toke is going to send the ball to midfield, strike to State. State elevates, has momentum stolen yet again. Essentially Boss dunking the ball down. Ball might roll into their own net, and even if State did not cut in, I do believe that one was going to be a goal for the Mammoths.
Mammoths find a lead versus the Barracudas in game 2. 3 minutes and 30 left. Switch bumps essentially Boss, but X13 is up and in the air. Doesn't quite get the double touch, but he does get the sparks on his car. Maybe a little bit of a disconnect for a second there. State able to clear up past one, but not past essentially Boss, who taps it back down into the corner. Ends up getting beat out by Mammoth's offense. Anyway, this could be an opportunity here, but X13 barely gets it out at the right time. They're not out of the woods yet. Toke is looking for the pass. Gets past one. Gababy has to make a good touch here, and he does, pushing it towards the wall. Gets past another one, and they're just not quite able to make the play happen on the Barracuda's end of the field.
Toke gonna cross midfield stripe. There's no one home, but Toke doesn't have enough speed. They had no boost left in their tank, and they couldn't capitalize off the open goal. Instead, now ball is going to be back inside Mammoth's territory. 13 trying to center it up for Gababy, and it works out.
Gababy taking the shot towards the back of the net will lead them to a 0-0 scoreline about halfway through the game now. Essentially Boss. Horizontal clear. State will cut in first, however. Could be an opportunity here, and X13 will hit it out, but Switch has another shot, and he hits it towards the back post, leading them to reinstate their 1-0 lead, 2-1 in the series now with just 1 second more than half of a game left on the clock. X13 leading the charge to get back in control of this game.
State has Switch unfortunately come into that play, leading to Mammoth losing possession. Gababy goes for an opportunity to center it to a teammate. It's going to be thwarted by State, who brings it down to the midfield, gets it past one. Can they get it past Gababy? They cannot.
X13 plays it past one. Gababy off the sidewall. Past one again. Clear towards the back wall. X13 with a shot blocked by 2 defenders. Toke able to get the clear out over to Switch. Now X13 just has to beat them, but he doesn't make contact. So Switch will get free reign of the Barracuda's corner for a little longer.
X13 going forward, has State go for the challenge. Ball's pitched up into the air. It's going to be State to go after it. 13's going to back off. Switch receiving the pass. That's going to hit the top crossbar, get cleared to midfield stripe where Gababy and Toke challenge out for possession. Gababy goes for the flick into the net, cannot find it as there's 2 defenders going for that defense.
X13 up for the redirect. It's just a little high. Switch with the clear. X13 can cut back in after he grabs the mid boost. Maybe looking for a solo play. Gets the air dribble, but a demo in the air from our Mammoth defender will create the opportunity for them to get out of their end off of a 50-50 with the Barracudas. Switch hitting it towards the net. Not able to make contact outside of that, however, as X13 pushes up a little bit further.
State whiffs on possession, pinch down by X13 to Gababy. Ball's gonna go off the corner. Toke has Gababy come in and just take them out. Is their rotation fast enough coming out from the Barracudas to capitalize on the man down? There is not, so Gababy goes to the midfield and pops the ball up again. It's gonna be X13 to respond, hits the crossbar, and unfortunately will not find the back of the net.
Oh, and a pinch will go the full length of the field off of a backflip from Gababy, and that will give the Mammoths their third goal. 33 seconds left on the clock. They have 16 seconds per goal that they need, but the Mammoths have remained in thorough control so far. We'll have to see if the Barracudas are able to find a way out, or if Switch leading the charge here will just be too much for the Barracudas defense.
I will be honest, this is not what I anticipated for game number 2, but the Mammoths have most likely sent us into an esports tower best of 3.
I mean, this is not exactly far off from what I expected, but it could have still gone either way. Toke,
I'm bad at predicting the future.
well, I don't know if we were as humans meant to predict the future, so that's okay. I'm probably just a little lucky anyway on this one. But so far, it looks pretty close still. I mean, the Mammoths did have a 2-0 lead by the end of that game, a 3-1 deficit made for the Barracudas there, but it really wasn't that bad. They were in control for a majority of the game, and one of the goals was kind of just an awkward pinch that went the full length without bouncing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Barracudas, this isn't what I'm used to from them. Even if it is a slightly new roster, but from these players in general, it's not what I'm used to seeing from them. I don't know what's wrong. It could be that they haven't played enough together. There is, that balancing act that the coaches try to do, which is having the teams that have players of equal skill level. But in doing so, when you hit the higher echelons of those skill levels involving esports tower, there's always that person that's trying to be the in-game lead, but it can spill over into the other players, and so there's not clean rotations being made. There's too much trying to do the ego play and having more ball possession instead of doing a give and the go, realizing that there's 2 other people on the field. With that being said, see if things clean up here for the game number 3 between the Barracudas and the Mammoths.
Looks like there are only, maybe our overlay is wrong, but it looks like according to the overlay, there are only 2 Barracudas on the field right now, X13 and Gababy. Maybe playing a 2v3. It does actually look that is the case right now. X13 following up on Gababy's clear here, trying to get the solo play, but Switch will block it. State clears past one, gets past the midfield line. Gababy is in the way, and Toke is just not quite able to beat him. Interesting 2v3 situation here. We'll have to see if we ever get the third player for the Barracudas back, or if the Mammoths are just going to have a player advantage for the rest of the game.
I think we have Toke's car colors now. But with that being said, we've got State now going forward. Gonna be Gababy to ground it. A double commit from the Barracudas defense. Not positive if in a 2v3 situation you basically always have to go for double commits. Gababy's gonna send the ball to the side. The X13's gonna get it over 1. And it might just roll into the net. Nope, yep. Okay, that happens.
So despite the player deficit, a little bit of a misplay from the Mammoths defense will give the Barracudas their first goal, leading the way in this game. We'll have to see if that remains the case. If they're able to hold on to just that 1 goal, they could get away with murder here in game 3.
Ball at midfield, stripe 13 and Toke go for the challenge. Gababy's gonna snag it away. Oh, it's essentially Boss that we are currently missing. They did disconnect a couple times during our last game, so unfortunately, looks like Barracudas are just gonna have to go with a man down for game number 3 here. We are tied in the series, but essentially, Boss, we would love it if you came back, but now Barracudas have scored 1 goal. We do have to remain 1 man down for the remainder of this game. Perhaps we will see one of the Mammoths disconnect or stay still themselves to equalize things out as far as manpower goes. But if they don't, it makes sense. It happens. You just have to play around it, and I will not hold anything against any of the Mammoths players if they choose to take this advantage in their favor.
Oh, a shot opportunity here from 13, and he just doesn't quite make it through. It's an astonishing lack of physical play from the Mammoths right now. It's like they don't realize that demos just automatically win them this player deficit, or they're maybe just playing it slow, trying to see if they can get Boss back into it. But from a competitive standpoint, more demos need to happen. Even the Barracudas getting involved in that physical play a little bit. But Gababy looking to make a play happen with X13. State will say, no way, we're not giving you any more goals. We need to find one of our own now. Gababy with the flick over 1. Toke playing it back to himself high in the air, but X13 will make it stop in the midfield.
Switch sends the ball to the corner. Gababy pushes it forward, crossing midfield strike. Toke slows down, reads it, sends it to the corner. Gababy goes for the challenge. It's going to be, I believe, Toke to send that out of the net.
State, long clear towards the back of the net. X13 is able to keep it out. Barracudas are winning this game off of a misplay from the Mammoths earlier. Gababy is able to get the clear. Not really a whole lot of defensive pressure from the Mammoths yet. 13 able to get past one.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were going to see a second goal for the Barracudas there for a second.
Truly, I did too. I mean, that would have been scary. Honestly, you're playing a man down here, winning by 1, have maintained this lead for, I think, 2.5, almost 3 minutes now. You just got to keep playing solid defense and just getting good clears and playing, yeah, midfield control into possible offensive opportunities, but you don't want to overcommit on anything because you're always going to have that goal open in those situations. We had Gababy set it up. 13 goes for the second area attempt, but that means Gababy's already rotated back into the goal. Yeah, so they're going for solo goal opportunities with slight follow-up from the midfield, ensuring that there's rotations back. That's one way to make sure your communication channels are good.
I think if this game is a sure sign of anything, it's a sure sign that despite the aggressiveness from the Barracudas, even with these new players, but with Gababy especially, who we've seen be a very powerful offensive player for many, many different tournaments now, I think it's just...
What?
Oh, it's saved last minute by State, but I think it just goes to show that these players, while they are very good at offense, are also very good at defense. It just takes that extra bit of coordination and focus, and almost finding another one for the Barracudas there off of a double touch from Gababy, but it won't quite be good. No shot here. Oh no, there's the shot. It's saved at the last minute. Another shot off the top of the bar. It's not quite good.
You know, I'm not saying that this is what would happen, but it seems like perhaps the idea was that we've got some players that just like trying to ball hog too much, and so to force them to be less of a ball hog, you yoink a teammate. And that is the strategy to make sure that there's, you know, actual passing and rotations happening rather than someone just chronically being on offense and not rotating to the back post.
I still can't get over the fact as the time winds down here that the Mammoths are actually in a position where they could lose this game. This should never happen.
Need to ground this. They need to stop letting the Mammoths toy with it. Oh my gosh!
Gosh, if they could just not hit the crossbar once out of those 5 times, man. Once out of those 5 times, they lost a 2v3. And yeah, it was some skillful defense from the Barracudas, but I cannot highlight this enough. There's no way for me to just say, oh, they get good kind of thing. That should never happen. You should just demo one of them.
A zoom in on
it should
Joe
not
right
happen. You should never be losing 2v3s, okay? Unless they're like 800 points higher than you at MMR. It should never happen. Just demo one of them. So I'm kind of in awe that the Barracudas actually managed to get away with that, let alone that their one goal was a result of a complete whiff. It just rolled over the defender. Literally just said hi and bounced over him. So I'm in awe of Game 3, I'm going to be honest.
I need that whole moment just a highlight reel for you. That was so beautiful. I have never once heard Joe on desk vouch for, like, just demo one of them on desk.
Please.
That made me so happy. You have no idea.
Bump one of them, and then the goal is open. That's how that's how having a man down works a lot of the time. You just bump them, and then you say, well, I guess there's nothing else you can do.
All right, well, let's see if the Barracudas are back up to full strength, or if they did have to, unfortunately, play again with a man down and are just going to get one goal in and then just play absolute defensive walls. It is going to yet again be one man down for the Barracudas. Essentially, Boss might have had their internet unplugged by their mom. Who knows?
Their dog ate their PC.
I have had my cat chew through my Ethernet cable. My cat has chewed through 3.
That is terrifying.
He has Pika.
We'll have to see if the Mammoths can put it together this time. Are you kidding me right now?
Again?
A full-length clear from 13 will find the back of the net. The Barracudas are winning a best or without a man right now. They're literally one man down, and they're winning against the Mammoths. Again, the Mammoths need to find a way to get in control of this game. A demo almost created a second goal opportunity for Gababy. Okay, here comes the violence. No way
Gababy
they let that in.
Down and look, I wish we had a replay because that was beautiful from 13, but what?
I cannot believe that, actually. That they're 2 goals down in a... Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, there's still plenty of time left in the game.
I unfortunately think that Switch is not in the... No, okay, Switch is there. They are there, I believe. Yes. I was like, Switch wasn't moving for a minute, and I got concerned.
Baby just takes the shot, a demo onto Toke. Look how slow the Mammoths are playing. They're kind of just trying to let the Barracudas do their thing, but they shouldn't. The clock is against them.
Come on, Toge. Come on, State.
They have a security goal. You need to be playing some really fast, make them play at your pace kind of offense. A flipper set opportunity from 13. It's rolling in. Okay, it's cleared. Okay, I was going to say, there's no way.
I have seen more demos onto the Mammoths than I have seen onto the Barracudas.
How? Oh my goodness. A pass off the wall here. Almost another opportunity. Switch is able to get the play past one, get the babies in the way off the shadow defense. The Mammoths spent so long in their end, considering there's only 2 players against them.
I know Toge can take the reins and play that in-game lead role and just, you know, get their team to start facilitating some plays here. Toge is probably one of the most veteran players on this field next to Gababy.
What is happening? What is happening? I don't... What is something... I don't... You know what? I don't know. Maybe the Barracudas is just that cracked? But
Yeah,
this should not be...
It's just like, I don't need to rejoin.
Yeah, this should not be happening. This is criminal, to say the least. They will be getting away with not just one murder, but triple homicide if they win this series off of 2 games where they've had no third teammate.
I mean, maybe that's what you need to do when you're the 2-time reigning champion for Esports Tower. If you're playing against your own in-house, you know, sibling team, the rule is you have to play a man down and maintain that prowess. Otherwise, you don't deserve the title anymore. We have to give you a handicap.
I mean, maybe, but this is a completely different roster. Gababy being the only fixture of the Barracudas at this point.
It's gross. I will not lie. This is completely disgusting.
It is pretty gross. State taking the shot. Gababy blocking towards the corner. Ends up getting beat by a Mammoths player, but 13's able to get it out. The shot was almost good, but Switch is able to get the touch out. Block off the wall. 13 just takes the shot, but Toke will block.
I mean, that was a shot from midfield. I know it didn't look like it, but it definitely was. So the odds of that one going in, pretty slim. Now we have Toke pushing forward. It's going to pop it up. Can't get it past X13, so something needs to be done. There needs to be some more give and goes. You can't just go for the solo plays. They're reading it well. Gababy loses possession. It drops down onto Switch. X13's going to come in and try to rekindle the play. Sending the ball to midfield stripe. Gababy, though, racing it down into the defense's third Barracuda territory. Goes for the challenge and the clear.
X13 playing on the wall, goes for the musty, over Switch, has another touch here.
No.
Doesn't quite find the hard angle. State able to play past one, has to get past Gababy in the 1v1 here. The flick, it's kind of low. Gababy ends up getting it out, but Gababy's not the one you needed to demo there. Or Gababy was the one you needed to demo there.
State pops the ball up, challenged by 13. Ball's going to take a ricochet off the ground. Switch is going to try to get possession centered up for someone. That someone looks like it's going to be State. Unfortunately, this follow-up from Switch was too slow, and it hit the crossbar again. State tries to center it up, playing it off the wall. Gababy taking their time, reading the situation, looking for this shot opportunity from Toge, reads it perfectly, and just sends it over to X13.
There's less than a minute left on the clock. The Barracudas lead by 3. Slow roller. Toke takes the ball, plays it off the wall to himself. Has State underneath him, maybe looking to body past one. That's never going to work, though. There's 2 players in net. The second 50-50 will work, however, because the Barracudas bump into each other. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Mammoths have found their first goal in a situation
in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes where they have been a man up.
X13 leaves the ball for Gababy to pop it up to follow up from X13 across midfield stripe. This is some great demonstration of just teamwork, I think, between the Barracudas, because they played very patiently and facilitated one another very heavily during this game. But there's no time left on the clock. Ball hits the ground, and the Barracudas, after 2 back-to-back games, a man down, winning both of them, will close out this series.
So that was a very polarizing, I believe it was, we didn't go to game 5, did we?
No.
So it was actually 3-1. Oh, well, okay, it evolved. That was, for me, a very polarizing series. There was a lot of very good and a lot of very bad. The very good for me was that it felt like the Barracudas adapted to their situation and played into that really kind of passive and disciplined playstyle that I talked about before.
I think that's like a perfect opportunity. I think that's a video you send to a recruiter, in all honesty. Like, look what I can do as a two-man squad when we lose someone. And speaking of which, if you want the opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like team general managers and pro athletes and game producers, then join the club. Esports star players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notes as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. My voice just totally squeaked and cracked, but that is totally okay. So Barracudas move on into the winter finals, and they are set to face off against the Wolves. But before we jump into our last two games of the night, we're going to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
In Rocket League, we're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. The Barracudas are looking for their third straight Rumble title. To do it, they need to take down the Wolves in the winners finals. And after their most recent performance, I really think they have a strong shot to do so. I'm still your host, Artie Rain, and joining me on desk is Joe Chickbrow. All right, so last game was creative, to say the least.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, I don't know what the finals are going to look like necessarily, because half that series we saw one series so far today of the Barracudas. Half that series was a completely separate situation than what we should see in a grand final situation.
I mean, if we see a 2v3 in we're going into the semifinals right now because we still have to go into the second chance bracket after this. If the Barracudas are playing a man down, I'm going to be mortified because they should not be playing man down into the Wolves, simply put.
Nope.
So let's hope that essentially Boston manages to come back. They did their homework, they did what they needed to do and are able to fill in the roster, or they reach down into the depth of the roster and pull someone out who's not been playing but is on that Barracudas roster. We can take a quick look at the bracket and how we got to where we are now. We saw that Liberty North, Eagles, and the Wolves battled it out. Wolves ended up on top of that one. Mammoths versus the Barracudas in a very interesting series. Barracudas winning that one out. So in our second chance lower bracket, we have Liberty North taking on the Mammoths to go into the lower finals. And then we have the Wolves and the Barracudas currently. So whomever wins the Wolves and Barracudas is going to go into the grand finals, and then whomever doesn't has to go into the second chance bracket and play against the victor of Liberty North and the Mammoths. We'll have to see how these next couple games go. Best of luck to the Wolves and the Barracudas.
Kickoff kind of in favor of the Wolves. Free Ink will push downfield. Not able to get past Crazy Cat, who will play it towards the midfield over to X13, but Torque's definitely going to beat here and pushes it towards the opposing end of the field, maybe looking for an immediate goal, but 13 will be in the way and take a flick past one.
So it is Cats and Crazy Cats. Cats is actually one of the older members, as is Crazy Cats, of the Esports Tower. We don't typically see Cats cutting into play here, which is interesting. So Cats, it's good to see you playing. It's been a hot minute, but Crazy Cat, it's also been a very long time. So thank you for coming in and filling out the roster here for the Esports Tower Barracudas.
Both Cats vying to be a grand finalist in these semifinals. Torque looking to get past one, blocked by X13. Free Ink with the play over to Cats, but a demo from Good Baby will create an opportunity for Crazy Cat to play it slow around one. Torque doesn't make contact and will roll off towards the far corner. Free Ink playing it slow. Has to only get past one, but he doesn't find a way past him, and now Torque will work together with the other defender, find a way out.
Ball is currently in Barracuda territory. X13 tries to get it clear, but can't. Free Ink's going to come in and capitalize on that defender being out of position. That's going to be the first goal for the Wolves.
Torque, 50-50 off the sidewall. X13 is up, looking to make a play here. Gets the... Oh, and another demo. Kababy's just creating all the space in the world, but it's not going to be good enough quite yet. The flip reset from X13 is just not enough quite yet either. They'll have to reset the play as Free Ink is now looking to extend the lead a little more.
X13 brings the ball to midfield stripes, going to pop it up barely gets it just under the ceiling. Got a demo in the goal. Fortunately, can't be capitalized on. Wolves push forward. Gababy goes for the challenge, sending the ball into the corner. Defensive third of Wolves territory. Crazy Cat tries to corral it. Can't get it past Cats. It's going to be instead Free Ink sending the ball to the midfield stripe.
Torque plays it down. Gababy with a long clear to the far corner. He doesn't have a follow-up from a teammate yet, so Cats will get the clear in round 1. Crazy Cats playing it towards the midfield here, letting Cats do his own thing with it. Gababy with the follow-up off the wall. Doesn't make quality contact, however, so Cats will take it away. Playing it off the sidewall. Doesn't get past the midfield line and almost finds the back of the net, but Free Ink will be in the way.
I really thought Crazy Cat had the opportunity. Looks like we're going to have Gababy try to dunk the ball down into the net. Does hit the crossbar. Another follow-up to center the ball up. Cannot find the angle to get that center up, so Crazy Cat tries to reset it. Pops it up to X13. Cats tries to cut in and get the clear. Gababy finally gets the ball at the right angle to nudge it into the net. Now we are tied one aside of the ever so popular 0-0.
Esports Tower players like these close games and series. Pass over to Gababy, almost finds the redirect into the back of the net. Cats with the clear past one. X13 playing it towards the corner, leaving it back. Crazy Cat will cut in to try to make something of the corner, but will not be able to do anything else with it. X13 passes past one. Torque playing it off the sidewalls back to his teammate in the midfield, but Gababy will cut it off. Now an opportunity here, but Free Ink will get the clear out. X13 playing back towards the ball with a follow-up from himself to pinch it out mid. Cats, however, with the big clear, will be able to follow it and make its way towards the other end of the field.
Cats going to midfield stripe. Free Ink comes in, tries to challenge to get away from Crazy Cat. Can't do so. Crazy Cat goes for a challenge 50-50 between Crazy Cat and Cats. Results in the ball going right in front of the Barracuda's goal, but no follow-up from the Wolves immediately. Torque tries to go in for the shot. Said the ball's going to be cleared to midfield. Volleyed right back by Cats, going to hit the backboard, but one of the Barracuda's players sends it immediately into the back third of Wolves territory.
Torque playing towards the wall. Blocked. Cats will play it in the corner, just trying to slow down the play a little bit more. Can't find a teammate out mid, so follows it themselves. Whiffs from the Barracudas in 2 different places. Could be an opportunity. Gababy goes for the feint, but can't get it past Torque. He'll play it off the wall, and Crazy Cat will get around one, but Free Ink ends up leaving it for Cats, and the pressure will remain on the Barracudas to find a way out.
Free Ink tries to get a shot in, can't. It's going to be challenged by Crazy Cat instead. X13 gets demoed. Ball at the midfield. Looks like X13 and Mouse Free Ink both on that respawn screen. X13 comes in, and the demo on the keeper from Crazy Cat. Finally, the Barracudas find another goal.
Gababy definitely feeling confident about having 2 teammates behind him again, going for a lot of demos. Could be something the Wolves are going to have to adjust to coming into the next few games. 22 seconds left on the clock. Time is not in favor of the Wolves, but they do have pressure right now as Free Ink pushes it towards the backboard. If there's a shot up, it could be good, but Crazy Cat will find a way out regardless. Cats with the pass out mid. X13 playing it slow. This could be an opportunity, but Torque doesn't quite make contact. Cats has to go for a bump, and he doesn't get it. Gababy played past one, and the time will wind down. Barracudas find one more at 0 seconds, and that will be game 1 to the Barracudas.
Next game's probably going to go to the Wolves.
I mean, yeah, that's about the only consistent thing with Esports Tower at this point.
We mean zero offense, by the way. It's just this is a consistent trend that is yet to really be disproven. I mean, like, there might be that rare game about maybe once a broadcast, one series where it does not go to a best of 3, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah, and I think what we're looking at from Barracudas compared to the Eagles, so coming at it from a point of view like the Wolves, you're facing kind of a different play style entirely. You've got the Barracudas with Gababy, who like to play really aggressive. They like to get all these demos and kind of force you to play around them. And that's not totally what you're used to from playing earlier today, only against the Eagles, who kind of have a very rotation team-based play style. So we'll have to see what adjustments that the Wolves can make to kind of counter that, or what their plan is going into game 2, because like you said, if all the stats kind of line up the way that they have in the past, we're looking at a Wolves win going into game 2.
We'll have to see if the Wolves can make the necessary adjustments and compare, like how they did truly against Liberty North, the game that they played earlier. But I think they need to, in this case, make sure that they are not is spending 80% of the game responding to the actions of the Barracudas. They need to get faster, they need to get stronger, they need to delay the demos. And instead, we have Cats get demoed right out the gate.
Baby still going for all these demos. Torque leaving the ball for Cats to take the wider touch downfield. Oh, pass all the back ball from Crazy Cat. Could be a shot opportunity, but Torque will just not quite make contact. Baby playing it off the wall, finding a way all the way downfield. Free Ink with the 50-50 will take it out to the midfield. Is anyone home? No, but he's just not quite able to get the angle. The touch from Cats won't be good either. And now they just gave up an opportunity to get a free goal lead early on.
I'm just slowly hearing more sass coming through Joe's mic. Just a heads up to everyone watching. Now we've got X13 going for a flick, couldn't get it. Instead, we're going to have Torque now with an opportunity. Bring the ball into the back third of Barracuda territory. Took too many touches, though, and their team was playing too far back to help them out.
Cats pushing downfield, trying to get past Crazy Cat. Free Ink will help that initiative along the way. The clear from the Barracudas will create a little bit more time, but the Wolves unyielding about giving up their offensive pressure yet. Free Ink recognizes the space he has and tries to use it. The Crazy Cat comes in from the side out of vision to push the ball a little further. Now Cats tries to play past one, but just doesn't quite find the angle, so Torque has to come in to help out.
Ball's going to get popped up by Free Ink. We do see Free Ink suffer the consequences of being inside Barracuda territory too long. They get demoed. Cats looking for a cherry-picking opportunity. Instead, plays the distraction, allowing Torque to do a beautiful dunk down that just bounces right into the net. Wolves leading by 1, 3 minutes, 19 seconds on the clock.
Can they hold the lead? I believe they started with the lead in the last game as well. Torque trying to find that security goal, pushes downfield, but a clear from the Barracudas will put the Cats all the way back in their end of the field. Gababy with the shot from midfield. It's high, and a follow-up from Crazy Cat is also low, but Gababy is finally able to find the back of the net. No response from the Wolves. They were just a little too slow for the Barracudas offense.
So now we are back to the ever so popular, it's complicated 0-0 with just under 3 minutes on the clock. Crazy Cat takes the dribble up to the midfield, but again, just too many touches. It seems as though these players are not familiar with the give and go strategy just yet that they need to be forced into doing, that they're going to be forced into doing, I should say. Torque trying to corral it around 2, can't quite do it. Cats comes in, pops it to Free Ink. Cats is going to be taken out of the play, so that's a reset for the Wolves.
Torque passing that mid. X13 will beat, could be a scary position here, but Free Ink finds an open lane, can't get past the last defender off the respawn. Cats has to get around this ball. He is able to, flicks it out at the last moment, despite having no boost. Now X13 takes a shot towards the back of the net, but Torque will deflect.
That was a scary situation. We're still tied 1 aside, 2 minutes, 9 seconds on the clock. Ball is cleared down into the back third of Barracuda territory, but no response from the Wolves immediately means that's going to be X13 with a touch, but X13 can't get it cleared, and it's going to be Torque capitalizing on that mistake, putting the Wolves in the lead by 1.
Not how you want to give up your opportunity to get a lead back if you're the Barracudas, but they still have plenty of time to remain in control of the game. Cats tries to get a pass out to Torque. He does get it, but not in a way that Torque had any wind-up, so Free Ink has to play a slow defense right now. Gets past Crazy Cat, has no one in the net. A little bit of space, but Cats is just not quite able to get the angle with his defender falling on him.
Ball's in the corner, Barracuda territory. X is going to pop up, elevate with possession. Played off the wall to themselves, try to slow it down, allow, I believe, they wanted Crazy Cat to come in and help out, but unfortunately slowdown meant the Wolves capitalized on it, pushing the ball back into the Barracuda's defensive third.
Clear from X13, playing towards the wall. Trying to get past one. Torque is still in the way, but he leaves it for Cats to take the clear himself. Doesn't get the follow-up, but Torque is there to get the next touch. Kind of plays it slow, looks for the air dribble and the 50-50. Doesn't get the 50-50, so Free Ink will hit it towards the back wall just to remain in control. And now Cats with the follow-up has to take the shot.
Ball gets dunked down in front of the Barracuda's net. It's going to pop up, go to the midfield stripe. Torque goes for the challenge against X13, whiffs it as Free Ink causes the ball to pinch and ricochet off the ceiling line. Crazy Cat's cut in, and that is another goal for the Barracudas, tying us at 2 aside with 51 seconds on the clock.
Neither team wants to give up a lead here or any kind of consolation goal, but it's just not able to be done quite yet. Crazy Cat's playing it off the wall, trying to find a way through the midfield line. He does get the flick around Free Ink. Baby is there for the cherry pick, but Cats is able to get past. He's able to get, oh my gosh, he goes for the ballsy fake past the Barracuda's offensive player. And in that scenario, we will have the Wolves just barely able to not get out of their end.
Ooh, double demos. Torque and at 13 both go down. Shot on goal is going to take a pinch instead and go towards the ceiling. Cats has to play it over 13. Gets it past them. We have the ball pinched off against the wall by Gababy to send to the side. There is 7 seconds, 6 seconds left on the clock. Someone needs to either score a goal or we are going into overtime and golden goal. If the ball hits the ground, Cats pops it up. Elevation from Gababy. Ball barely doesn't go into the net, and Joe, for reference, just got very wide-eyed and nervous.
That was a lot of faith there from Gababy to say, I don't think this is going in. I'm not going to tap it down. But we're in an overtime situation. Gababy trying to play it past Torque. Works together with his teammate Cats, ends up getting the 50-50. X13's able to get out a little further though, fakes underneath Free Ink. Torque has control of the play, hits it towards the sidewall. A clear from Gababy will go to the other corner, but that's where Torque lies in wait. Gababy finally able to get past one, but not for lack of trying. Free Ink will be in the way.
Ball is in defensive third of Barracuda territory. Crazy Cat's gonna elevate, pops it up over Torque. Is that it? That is it.
Oh my, that was quite the reaction.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, very good shot right at the end. Definitely a defensive misplay, but at the end of the day, you played a lot of Rocket League in that game. You went all the way to an overtime. I think it was the first overtime we saw today.
It was pretty good, if I'm being honest. I like seeing that, but there's still more to come.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see what's going to happen in this game 3 now. Like, it's kind of up against the wall now for the Wolves.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so being, you know, the person that's bringing all the info, both of us are, there is, you know, they are up against the wall, but if they fail here, they've managed to maintain a safety net. So yeah, the safety net's going to go away, but they could just be like, okay, we're using this as an opportunity. Like, we're not going to win this game, but we're going to take the amount of time that we get after winning or losing this game and review this and be prepared to go against the Barracudas again, because if the Wolves go down in the second chance bracket and they win against whomever goes up, wins in the Liberty North Mammoth match, they're just going to have to face the Barracudas again, so this could be treated as a scouting opportunity.
Should be an interesting development regardless. X13 with another giant flick. He likes going for those diagonal back flicks. Does get some pretty large error on it, but Free Ink is able to keep it on their end a little longer. Crazy Cat pass over. Free Ink in the way. Has to play it in the corner now, but Gababy not letting up on the demos anytime soon.
Torque has got a 2v1. They're going to manage to maintain possession, send the ball to X13. Torque at the mid again, looks to elevate. 50-50 between them and X13. Results in no one gaining possession. Free Ink waits for it, tries to send it to Cats, but Cats goes to the respawn thanks to Gababy. Torque has to go for the challenge against Crazy Cat. Can't get a touch on it. Crazy Cat still going forward in the defensive third of Wolf territory.
X13 playing around one. Has to get past Torque. Cats ends up taking it away instead. Cats with the redirect off the top of his car will put it in a striking situation. Free Ink with a shot, and he'll find the top corner in a 1-0 lead for the Wolves. I believe they've 1-0 led in all 3 of these games now, though.
Maybe they need to let the Barracudas score first in order to come out on top, but this is game number 3, and Barracudas are currently at series point, leading by 2 overall. As we have Gababy just play Demolition Derby in front of the net, but unfortunately collide with X13 and take away that opportunity. Gababy has to rotate back quickly, push the ball to the side. It's going to go into the air. Elevation from Free Ink. Crazy Cat just plays it patiently, waiting off that crossbar, and the ball is crossing midfield stripe into Wolves territory.
X13 goes for another flip reset, but will not quite make contact. Seems like so far the Barracudas have remained mostly in control of this game, but the scoreline would say differently. Baby looking for a giant clear. It will go all the way to the other end of the field, and it will not quite work out for them yet.
Cats plays it around 1 at midfield. Baby's going to pop the ball up, look to play it off the wall to themselves as Free Ink whiffs on it. Cats pops it up, gets across midfield stripe. Crazy Cat, though, goes for the challenge. There's nobody there. Tries to get the shot, but can't, as Free Ink manages to cut in just in time. Ball still here in front of the Wolves net.
No clear just yet from our blue squad as Free Ink desperately looking for an opportunity, but Crazy Cat ends up with it off the ground instead.
Shot barely missed. Gababy is going to be able to just barely force it through. And looks like the Barracudas were not, or the Wolves were not quite able to hold on to their lead once again. Cats with 50-50 over to the sidewall. 13 will push it back towards the net. Gababy barely not able to get the redirect. Again, Cats playing it towards the back corner, and X13 will just have to play it slow.
We have a double commit here in the corner between the two members of the Barracudas. Finally, they clear that miscommunication up, it seems. Pushing forward into the back third of Wolves territories, we have a demo come out onto As Free Ink. Crazy Cat looking for an opportunity, centers it up for a teammate, but no one's there. So we have X13 reset the play from the midfield, looking to play it off the wall and center it to a teammate.
Cats going for a big long clear, not able to make anything of it. However, X13 pushes towards the wall. Free Ink trying to find a way through the defense. Crazy Cat will not let him through, however, and Cats will end up being the superior Cat on that 50-50. And now Gababy pushing it back towards the wall.
Cleared from that top crossbar by the Barracudas. Return volley from Cats as Gababy gets demoed, but again, just volley to the midfield stripe. Torque looking for an opportunity, leaves it for Free Ink. It's going to be Cats who goes for the, Crazy Cats who goes for the challenge. Now it looks as though Cats has possession from the Wolves, sending the ball to the midfield stripe, but red on the ground by the Barracudas. X13 comes in, leaves it for Gababy. Ball popped up in front of the Barracudas net. As we have less than a minute remaining, both teams tied at one aside.
Clear out from X13, able to play it past one, but Free Ink is in the way still. Cats goes for the touch, does have to beat past Gababy, and he does get it tapped down from the Wolves, not quite able to find the back of the net yet. And X13 is past one, and a demo from Cats almost creates an opportunity, but they won't find a way out quite yet.
X13 is going to have their teammate Crazy Cat come in for a demo and find the Barracudas goal number 2, putting them in the lead by 1, but there's 28 seconds left on the clock, which is time for the Wolves to find another goal and send us into overtime. So there's no GG go next just yet.
X13 playing on the wall. Torque not able to get past, but does get the bump. Free Ink towards the backboard. Crazy Cat not able to get out. Has to play past one, ends up leaving it, and Cats takes it away from him back towards the sidewall. Clock is winding down. They need one more, and Torque barely does make contact. And as the time winds down here, one last consolation goal for the Barracudas, and the Wolves will walk away with Game 3.
With that being said, congratulations to the Barracudas. You guys are going to be our victors heading into the grand finals next week. We'll have to tune in next week on Wednesday to see who ends up joining them, as we will have to go into our lower bracket finals. Will the Wolves be able to claw their way back up? Who's going to win out between the Mammoths and Liberty North High School? We will find out another time. If you want the opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders and team general managers like pro athletes and game producers, then you need to join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. We have one more task for this Esports Tower series, and I think you know what that tradition is.
Oh yeah, we got player of the game coming up. I'm just curious because I feel like I get asked this question a lot. What's your pick? What do you think are your picks for today?
Man, just threw down the Uno reverse card. My 2 picks, I'm not going with 3 today. I'm going with 2. It's going to be Gababy and Crazy. Well, sorry, Gababy and Cats. Not Crazy Cat, but Gababy and Cats.
Yeah, that's actually, I think I misspoke because I originally thought it was Crazy Cats in the first time, but I have to agree with you. Gababy and Cats are definitely up there. If I had to pick a third, honestly, I'm not totally sure, but if I have to pick one, maybe Free Ink might be the next one up there for that third placement.
Possibly. Yeah. I think, the Barracuda squad could get it. Any of them.
It's
any of the 2 that we had in the 2v3. But with that being said, we're only giving suggestions. Ultimately, it is up to production.
And okay, we're back. A little bit of a sneak peek of behind the scenes there for a minute, but
What we're having coming up next.
Yeah.
Because we do more than Esports Tower here, I swear.
But yeah, I think honestly, it's hard to say, but I have to. We are in agreement. Cats definitely has to be up there, and I feel like it's really we haven't had a week where Baby has been on the screen where we haven't been like, well, Baby has to be an option too, right?
True.
I mean, he's a consistent performer and always does a great job. Even if he didn't score, like today is probably one of his lower scoring days, all things considered. But his presence in the midfield and his ability to just knock down the enemy plans so fast with demos and bumps and just be a nuisance makes him a star player, whether he's scoring or not.
Yeah, I have no arguments here. So there's our suggestions coming out from the caster desk. Like we said, it's ultimately up to production, so we're only giving suggestions. If you disagree with what we're saying, perhaps production is agreeing with you. But we'll have to see what 3 suggestions production has given us, and we'll see if any of ours are right. And our 4 possible player of the game is going to be Cat. Okay, so Cats is one of them. We were right there. All right. 1 so far, 1 of 3. Doing good. We have less than an F right now.
Oh yeah, this was my favorite shot of his from the night. He actually takes
beautiful.
the double touch from the corner of the wall. That's such a hard place to do
Good
that.
baby, we're at 66%. We got a D. Let's go. I'm here for it. D ain't quite passing my class yet, though.
Oh, and this is gonna be the solo play in the when they're 1 man down. The pass over to Baby actually wasn't the solo
X13
play.
could be my other suggestion, in all honesty. Hey!
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. But I think honestly, I have to stick to Cats.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Cats on this one. I mean, no offense, Gababy. I'm tied. I'm torn. It could be X13 or it could be Cats. Gababy, you've had it enough times. I'm pretty sure I've said that already before, but you have had the ICCU player of the game a lot, my friend. But with that being said, I'm gonna go with Cats. I'm gonna agree with you on Cats.
Yep.
Ultimately, yet again, we gave our suggestions. Production gave us their 3 choices. We got somewhat right, so I'm happy with that. But now it's the end-all, be-all. Production. Who is the ICCU player of the game for this entire matchup? It is going to be it's going to be Cats. So the 2 of us were right. I do believe we got an A on this one. The ICCU player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Cats is your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Just some fantastic overall plays from Cats. They did some phenomenal goal scoring. They had 4 hat tricks in the entire series. They didn't get 1 hat trick in 1 game, but then they ended up getting 2 back-to-back, I think either in Game 2 or Game 3. You can just see some of their fantastic pop-off moments. Definitely highlight real material there if you're ever looking for it, Cats. Hopefully you have the opportunity to compile these and just make a video of yourself popping off, because that's what we'd love to see. With that being said, Cats not only scored goals, they also facilitated their teammates, so nicely done.
Impressive gameplay all around.
And as we prepare to close out this match, do you have any big takeaways?
I think my biggest takeaway is sometimes all it takes is just like one player popping off and doing really good on their job to just like rally a team around it and make that your strategy for the day. You don't always have to rely on these big passing plays. Sometimes you can rely on, hey, let's create space for someone who's playing really well today. Let's adapt to our situation. Sometimes everyone's going to be popping off and you're going to be having these awesome team plays. And other times you're like, okay, well, Cats is hitting everything towards the back of the net, so let's just get some bumps and demos and just clear a path for Cats.
Secondarily, you know, demoing is an option, especially when you're playing 2v3. You could make it a 3v1. With that being said, I'm going to give a quick congratulations to all of our teams on a fantastic night of Rocket League. The Barracudas are back in the grand finals looking for a 3rd straight title. Will it be taken away? Can anyone come from the lower bracket to beat them? Tune in next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out. And we're going to close out today's Esports Tower broadcast with the top 5 plays of the game, presented to you today by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering $20,000 in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. From all of us here at Boise State University, thank you so much. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Remember your hygiene, and we'll be back here another time. Baby come in and just take them out. Is their rotation fast enough coming out from the Barracudas to capitalize on the man down? There is not. So Baby goes to the midfield and pops the ball up again. It's going to be X13 to respond, hits the crossbar, and unfortunately will not find the back of the net.
Oh, and a pinch will go the full length of the field off of a backflip from Baby, pushing it towards the wall. Maybe going for a dribble here. State. trying to set up a similar play, but X13 will be in the way this time. Bumped Toke by accident by State. Now Kababy has a little bit of space to get along and clear with, and a bad touch from Switch will mean that they have pressure, they have a shot, and X13 will find the back. Now they just need to find the back of the net, and Boss barely beat out by Mammoth's defense.
Toke is going to send the ball to midfield, strikes to State. State elevates, has momentum stolen yet again. Essentially, Boss dunking the ball down. Ball might roll into their own net, and even if State did not cut in, I do believe
The Barracudas enter the field.
Toke gonna cross midfield stripe. There's no one home, but Toke doesn't have enough speed. They had no boost left in their tank, and they couldn't capitalize off the open goal. Instead, now ball is going to be back inside Mammoth territory. 13 trying to set it up for Kababy, and it works out. Electrolyte elevating with the ball. Gonna drop it down right in front of Cats, who leaves it for Torque to bring it out of the corner of the defensive third of Wolves territory.
Torque looking for the full shot. Hawk is there to block it. Not very well, however. Electrolyte with the follow-up will keep it in play. Cats with the read off the sidewall, has the double touch, and he will come all the way